are coming to you from the Big A in Anaheim, California, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Avi Garcia, Melky Cabrera, and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Albert Pujols, Mike Trout, and Mike Scioscia's Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this 4-game set. In Game 2 of this 7-game road trip, we'll have 4 here, finish it off with 3 in Seattle. So if you missed the game last night, you missed a really good performance by Carlos Rodon. And one of the reasons being Mike Trout, because if you're going to try to beat these guys, you better hold him down.
Johnny Danks has had a real good run against Mike Trout over the course of his career. In fact, it's lasted 6 at-bats. And Johnny Danks has fanned him 4 times. He's held him hitless. He has walked him once, but John does it with a fastball and a straight change mostly. Doesn't throw him the curveball too much, but he doesn't have to. And after striking him out 3 times in one game, Johnny just felt, wow, I did it, huh? I got by him. And that's what you have to do. And Garrett Richards goes to the mound, and we saw him once last year. It was before he was injured, and it was a push-off leg that he got hurt. He went 8 innings, gave up 2 hits with 3 earned runs, and he happened to win that one. He's got really good stuff, especially the slider. That's pretty much how he did it. He throws 96 with a good hard slider and a change that's a work in progress. So let's take a closer look at these two guys head-to-head. The last 6 starts for Johnny Danks. He's 2-1 with an ERA of 2.75. He's been awfully good, only giving up 1 home run. For Garrett Richards at home, he's 7-3 in his 11 starts. His ERA 2.5. An opponent's batting average at 184. This has got a classic written all over it because Garrett Richards is their best.
He certainly is. And one of the things missing from our offense is almost all season long, hitting with men in scoring position.
And it was never more evident than last night, as you only score 1 run, but you had many opportunities to go and get the Angels and just didn't get it. Let's take a look at the second inning. Andrew Heaney on the mound, and first and second, nobody out. He gets Ramirez and breaks his bat. Then he gets Saladino to lift the fly ball to right field. And then, unfortunately, Tyler Flowers on a slider down and in, and is out of the inning with no runs. In the third inning, fly ball to center field, and the Sox once again come away empty. Now the bases are loaded in the 6th with an opportunity again. Unfortunately, Tyler Flowers takes one down, thought it was out of the strike zone. Ed Hickox thought it was good enough. And again, not hitting with runners in scoring position has been one of the problems. It hasn't been that way all year long, but it's that way at this point.
Well, this is another important game as we try to stay relevant in the race for the wild card. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Audi, truth in engineering. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Toyota. The annual clearance event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to Anaheim. It's a beautiful night for baseball, and that's usually the case here. As the Angels come into this one 2.5 games in back of Houston, our Sox come in, and they're struggling to stay in the wild card race. That's why this is such a big series against two very hungry teams. So let's take a look at how Robin's going to line up our Sox for the game tonight. Adam Eaton leading it off with Jose Abreu in the 2 spot. Then it's Melky Cabrera, who's done a great job against the Angels over the course of his career. Then Avisail Garcia, J.B. Shuck, Alexei Ramirez, Carlos Sanchez, Tyler Flowers, and Tyler Saladino rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Garrett Richards left to right. Shane Victorino, Mike Trout, Cole Calhoun in the outfield. Caleb Coward making his major league debut at third with Eric Ibar, Johnny G. Vitello, Albert Pujols, Carlos Perez behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Garrett Richards. He's their best. His ERA 3.55 this year, 113 strikeouts and 142 innings. He has, however, allowed a home run in 4 of his last 5 starts. The umpires for the game tonight: Paul Nauert behind the plate, Dana DeMuth, the crew chief, at first, Mike Estabrook is at second, and Ed Hickox is at third. And so as Adam Eaton walks to the plate, the Angels throw the ball around the infield. They won the first of a 4-game series, and the Sox looking for a little revenge here tonight. So we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for Game 2 of this series. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Adam Eaton steps in. Adam at 264, 10 homers and 30 driven in, and the first pitch of the ball game is taken for a strike. Adam 1 for 4 last night, and he has faced Garrett Richards 3 times, and he has 1 hit. A little shank right there. Sox come in hitting at 248 as a team with a 4.01 team ERA.
Richards was getting it all done last year. He was 13-4 with a 2.61 ERA and 26 starts, and then he tore up his leg in Boston, had to have surgery, got a late start on this season. Now he's back, and he's once again their number 1.
Oh, he's got good stuff. 1 out.
This is his slider, and it's a good one. It's late breaking, it's quick, and if he gets ahead, he's going to use that one to wipe you out.
So here's Abreu. He was 0 for 2 last night. He also was hit twice by a pitch. He comes in hitting at 293, 22 homers and 69 knocked in. Richards, 27 years old, 6'3", 210 pounds, out of Edmond, Oklahoma. Oh, and 2 the count.
That one got a piece of Carlos Perez, and as umpires will always do, they'll go out, take a little time. It's not that he wants to introduce himself to Garrett Richards. It's just that he would like to get a little feeling back in the body of Carlos Perez.
And there's a base hit in the center field. Just muscle that one out there. So with 1 on 1 out, let's check out our picks to click tonight. Mangio, our director and the crew. Well, he went with Saladino. Mangio, Mike Leary, Dave Ross. They're going with Tyler. Melky's going with Steve and David Novak. All the good folks at Poogie Monday. We're going to go with J.B. Shuck. Here's Melky. Ball runs off the plate. Melky 0 for 4 last evening. Hitting at .278, 8 homers and 59 driven in. He's faced Richards 3 times, has a couple of hits. Melky gets the benefit right there. And the count 2-0.
Richards thought that one was good enough. Paul Nauert did not particularly care for it.
And that'll retire the side. After half inning of play, it's our guys nothing, and their guys coming to bat.
Cable in Chicago. Let's take a look at how Mike Scioscia is going to line up his Angels for the game tonight. Shane Victorino leading it off, then it's Cole Calhoun, Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, who hit his 552nd home run last night. That's C.J. Cron, the DH, with Eric Ibar, Johnny G. Vottola, Carlos Perez, and Caleb Howard rounding it out. The defense, and now they'll line up behind Johnny Danks left to right, Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, and J.B. Shuck in the infield. It's Saladino, Ramirez, Sanchez, and Abreu. Tyler Flowers behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Johnny Danks on for his 23rd start. He's 6-9, his ERA a little above 4.5. He's facing these Angels for the second time in less than a week. And there's a few different philosophies on what exactly you do when you face a team in back-to-back starts, and we'll get into that as we move along.
First pitch strike to Victorino, who was 0 for 4 last night. 34-year-old veteran. Hitting at 194 with the Halos since coming over from Boston.
Last thing he wanted to do was to hit a guy who's really been struggling since putting on that Angel uniform, especially at 0-2. See what Victorino does, and that's what a lot of guys will do that are looking to get on base. It appears that they're turning out of the way, but actually the front shoulder is closer to the plate after they turn than it is before they turn, and he's aboard, which is what he's paid to do.
That's part of some guys' arsenal.
They're going to come that far in, and you're not hitting, you might as well take one for the club.
Well, a lot of guys, most guys, that pitch would not have hit.
True.
That ball hit hard. Way back. Cole Calhoun. That's number 18 for him, and quickly it's 2-0.
Calhoun now with a career high in home runs and a career high in runs batted in. 18 and 65 on the power numbers, and just like that, a first ball fastball goes out of the ballpark. This is right down the middle in our Ford home run replay. Looking first ball fastball, he got it and knew what to do with it.
So here's Mike Trout. Trout at 296, 33 homers and 71 driven in. And he takes first pitch strike. Mike 0 for 2 last night. And there's another strike.
In the game that Trout was injured, when he rolled over his wrist, he went on to get 3 more hits. So 4 hits for the game, but after that, he just hasn't been swinging the bat as well. So we talk about the philosophy of facing a team twice in a week. There's a lot of pitchers that say, well, if it worked once, it's going to work again. There's another school of thought saying, okay, they know exactly how you worked them for 3 or 4 at bats last time as Johnny went into the 8th inning. Now I have to make an adjustment. Last time out, he went 7 1/3, gave up just 1 earned run on 5 hits. 2 batters, 2 runs in this one.
Oh, look at the pick by Saladino. Beautiful play. Wow. You know, there's a guy. I was going through our notes before the game. As you take another look at this beautiful play, saving a double. Guy who wrote an article, his name's Kyle Feely or something. I don't know who he is. Never heard of him. That was comparing Saladino to Brooks Robinson. And Kyle, I got to tell you 1 of 2 things, buddy. Either you got bad hearing or you're a complete moron. And I would say it's probably the latter. There's a strike. Pujols 1 for 3 with a homer last night. And that's it back and deep, and it's 3-0.
Well, that one was way back there in the bullpen. Trying to get that ball up, and Albert hit it out. And that was a no-doubter. 33rd, 69th driven in. So 2 home runs here in the first inning, and it's been 2 mistakes by Johnny Danks, and the Angels have absolutely jumped all over it. Our Ford home run replay, that's a curveball. It's just rolling up in the zone, and Johnny doesn't even have to turn around because you can tell by the sound, and Albert got most of it. 553 on the home run tote board.
So here's Chrome. He had an opposite field homer last night, and that was the difference in the ball game as they won it 2-1. On his face, Danks 6 times has won yet. That's off the end of the bat. 2 down.
These Angels really haven't been scoring a whole lot of runs, and they had a terrible road trip. They were just 1-6 coming to Chicago and then Kansas City, and Mike Scioscia was saying, look, that's in the rearview mirror. Now we're coming home where we play good baseball, and that's where we have to heat it up. And the Angels come in 37-23 here at home.
Here's Eric Ibar, 271, a couple of homers, 35. He's knocked in. Eric 0 for 3 last night and 5 for 29 lifetime. Off Danks.
Well, they would love Eric to hit, but he holds his team together defensively, and that's his contribution to the ball club.
Well, he's certainly one of, and has been for a long time, one of the best players on this team.
Got terrific range, very steady at shortstop.
That's low.
Although he just missed 3 games, he missed 3 games against Kansas City, where the Angels lost 3 of 4. He dove for a ball in Chicago, had a back and neck problem. But outside of those 3, most every day you can pretty much write him in the lineup and then forget about it.
Off the end of the bat. But a couple of long balls, one with a man aboard. After one is 3-0 Halos. Light. And a reminder, next Wednesday, CSN goes 1-on-1 with the great Harold Baines, number 3. So don't miss Inside Look. Harold Baines, presented by Cadillac, premiering next Wednesday at 8 on Comcast Sportsnet. And you'll also get to see our Chuck playing golf with Harold. We got some work to do. We got 24 outs to do it in. 2-run homer and a solo shot. It's 3-0. Here's Avi.
Richards was a first-round draft pick of these Angels back in 2009. He's always had a very good fastball. It's been sometime a challenge to command it.
Abbey goes through it. There they shot base hit. Now bobbled, and he'll go on to second. Cole Calhoun will pick up his 4th error.
I was going to say, sometimes seemingly the easiest plays are the ones that elude you. He went down and took this one for granted, and this might cost him a run.
That would be nice in the scheme of things. It's hard to even be a stand-up outfielder. You're going to field a ground ball.
It seems like he put the glove down and you just expect it's going to go right in the middle of your glove. You're going to get it back in the infield, and you don't think about it very much, and before you know it, it jumps up and bites.
Chuck, 1 for 1 last night. He's hitting at 286, no homers, 11 driven in. Against his former mates. There's a chopper to Hockman. Watch, take another look at Sarah by Calhoun. Watch how he just standing up almost straight, just bends over to waist rather than letting his knees take him down. You cannot get an angle on the ball if it takes any kind of a funny hop.
And a good at bat by J.B. Shuck as he went up with the idea that worst case scenario he's going to get him over to third base with less than 2 outs. And he did just that.
J.B.'s had a lot of good at bats in the White Sox uniform.
Yes, he has.
But this is where we have really failed to execute most of the time. Man on second did not get him over, which JB did in this case. Man on second and third did not get him in. Man on third, less than 2 outs, did not get him in.
Well, early in the ball game, Mike Scioscia has got the middle infield back. They're in at the corners, however. So there you see the defense, and Mike is going to concede the run.
Well, you got to. This is situational hitting, and you got to have an idea when they're back, as opposed to when they're in.
You might not need it, however, because Garrett Richards has 13 wild pitches this year, far and away the most on the ball club. There was a hanging breaking ball, and Lexi fouled it back.
You just get the feeling our guys, when they go to the plate in this, they're just so tight, so tense, that they feel like that they're the one who's in trouble, not the pitcher.
If you watch Alexi's knees, they buckled on that pitch as that ball was on the inside part of the plate. And it was a perfect pitch to hit in the air, but he was just able to foul it off.
He did not go.
Dana DeMuth on the appeal said nope. That was a close call as Perez wants the appeal, and Lexi gets another life.
That'll get the job done. Oh, I don't know about that one. That's close. But they're not going to challenge it. So meanwhile, that's a big, in the scheme of things, that is a big run right there.
Turns out to be a good at bat because that pitch was low and away, and Lexi just trying to stay alive.
Just got him.
Knocked one in. That's his 45th of the year. That's a lead to 2.
That was even a little closer than I thought. So here is Sanchez. 231, 3 homers, 18 driven in. That's the way we scored our run last night. If you missed that game, about on an arrow.
Carlos not particularly happy with the call, but when you're a rookie, you can't say too much.
The 0-2. And that's yank foul. 1-2-0 for us, 3-2-1 for them here in the top of the second inning if you're just tuning in. Broken bat. And that'll do it. But we get another gift and we take advantage of it. We get on the board and we trail now by 2.
Data Strong fan, you just might see yourself on an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
So here's Gipatello. He was 0 for 2 last night, but he is 4 for 11 lifetime off, Johnny.
He came up with Kansas City. You might remember him from the Royals. He's been hitting the ball pretty well as a member of the Angels. He made a mistake last night, contributing to our lone run as he airmailed C.J. Cron to first base.
Late call, and he gets a strike.
Well, he thought that one was a little high. Paul Nauert is saying it had part of the zone. And it had the upper part of the zone.
One ball, one strike. Two and one.
What's different already in this game, as opposed to 6 days ago, was that John is not getting the straight change over the plate. He did that consistently when he faced him at U.S. Cellular Field. There was a good one, however.
And it evened the count at 2. One out.
The White Sox are hosting Faith Day on Sunday, August 30th. Chicago's own Vertical Church Band will be playing a pregame acoustic set. Be sure to stick around after the game as Adam LaRoche and other players discuss their faith. To purchase specially priced tickets, visit whitesox.com/faith.
So here's Carlos Perez, the catcher, hitting it .228, a couple of homers and 14 knocked in. Takes strike one. Perez 1 for 3 last evening.
Hit the ball pretty well last night. Lined out to right field in his last at bat. They love him defensively. They're hoping that he can swing the bat.
1-2.
The Angels come into this one a half game back. Toronto with the #1 slot. Baltimore in second place, and they're losing 5-1 in the bottom of the ninth. And then it's the Angels, Texas, and Minnesota. Minnesota's already lost to the Yankees.
Yeah, they were leading 4-1, 7th inning. Bases loaded. And Alex Rodriguez goes deep. Grand slam.
He's having an unbelievable year.
He gone. 2 down.
This inning, the changeup has been much better for Johnny, as he's got a good feeling for it now. Keeps that ball low and out of the zone, and Perez well out ahead of him.
So here's Caleb Cowart. Interesting story. Takes first pitch strike. He's 23 years old, out of Nadell, Georgia. 246 minor league here. A lot of teams win him as a pitcher. He's got a tremendous arm.
He's a switch hitter. He gave it up, and then this year he went back to being a switch hitter again, and the light turned on.
Yeah. Well, to make room for him, they designated Connor Gillespie for assignment.
Cowart throws the ball 95 miles an hour. Good attribute to have for a third baseman. Better if you're a pitcher, and they toyed with the idea of doing that before letting him go back to being a hitter.
There you go. 1-2-3 inning for Johnny, and we're into the third, trailing by 2.
Sox take on the Mariners. Also, first 20,000 fans will receive a Jermaine Dye World Series moment bobblehead presented by Pepsi. For tickets, visit 866 Sox Game or visit whitesox.com.
Tyler Flowers will start us off here in the third. Tyler, 215, 8 homers, 29 knocked in. He was 0 for 4 last night. Breaking ball, chops it over by the Halo dugout.
Alfredo Griffin, the first base coach, doing the honors. Victorino in left field, seemingly used to playing as he did in Boston, where you play very shallow left field. He's not out there all that far, especially for a guy with the power of Tyler.
High and wide. One-two pitch. Second of a 4-game series. High pop up right side. Pujols. One out. Tomorrow night it'll be Jeff Samardzija against Jared Weaver, a couple of big right-handers. Finale here Thursday night. Jose Quintana up against to be announced for the Angels. Tomorrow we'll be right back here on Comcast Sportsnet as you look at Weaver. And then on Thursday night it'll be over WGN. Dennis on to Seattle. First pitch strike to Saladino.
Pretty good matchup in that Friday night in Seattle. King Felix, who got hammered his last start, against Chris Sale, who was brilliant his last start.
Felix, couple innings.
A 10 spot.
12 hits, 10 earnings. Ball lined hard, but souvenir time right side. So the count hangs at 0-2. Pitches 35 and 26 in his young career. Howard double clutches.
Tyler was just left with the handle that time. I mean, he just shattered the bat inside. That was a fastball about 3 inches inside. And this is what young pitchers have to learn about throwing inside. You don't have to throw inside for strikes. He got this ball 2-3 inches inside and nothing Tyler could do. He's left with just the handle. Very few guys going to be able to get the good part of the bat on that at 96.
So here's Adam. Struck out. Good hard slider from Richards. Well, they say that, mentioned that Coward has a gun over there. Not the strongest arm I've ever seen at third base. Larry Parrish. As that's right to the bag goes Pujols. 1-2 inning. And we still trail it 3-1. Chicago as the Fire go for the goal and try to turn back the Colorado Rapids. This coverage starts at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Got to hold them right there. We trail it 3-1. It'll be the top of the order once again. Victorino, Calhoun, and Trout. Victorino, Johnny had him 0-2 and then hit him, which was not a good way to start the ball game.
One of the reasons why these Angels did get swept in Chicago was they were 1 for 32 with runners in scoring position in 3 games. They haven't done a great job lately. But this is a team, as Mike Scioscia said before the game last night, you can't expect Trout and Pujols to carry him the entire way. And tonight, Calhoun hit the 2-run homer. Well, they've got some guys who can swing it. They just haven't been swinging it. They're averaging 3.3 runs over the last couple of weeks.
Well, we talked about it quite a bit. This is not a Mike Scioscia built team.
They just don't have the speed that they would normally have.
Sanchez back. Well, the manager and the general manager don't have to go to dinner every night together, but they do have to have a working relationship.
And as you can see, with 36 stolen bases, the 3rd fewest in the major leagues, most unlike the Mike Scioscia Angel team. They normally are among the best. And now I do believe that with Bill Stoneman as the GM, at least as long as he's going to be, there'll be a little more communication between front office and the dugout.
Calhoun with that high towering over the center field fence, 2-run homer. Hang loose, Tyler. Big backswing of his.
He's from Buckeye, Arizona, which is not too far from our spring training home in Glendale, Arizona.
He's fun to watch. He is very, very aggressive. He's a good fastball hitter. So 2-2 the count.
Mike Trout was robbed last time on a terrific play at third base by Tyler Saladino.
He gone. 2 down.
First step quickness is the key at third base, and Tyler has that. He knows he's got to get it over there, and he's got plenty of arm to cut down Trout, who's hustling all the way. And that saved 2 bases.
Yeah, that ball was hit hard.
Talked with Robin about at third base. Did he ever get handcuffed? And he said, sure. Early in his career, he said, and I learned how to be a terrific actor. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you get a ball that goes through your legs. You can't get the glove down in time, and then you just get it back from the outfielder and act like it doesn't bother you at all. You get it to the pitcher, and you go about your business, and then you drive home, and you're thinking about it. He said, you want to tear all the furniture up in your living room because you're embarrassed you couldn't get the glove down in time. But you learn how to be a good actor when that happens.
He was not a good third baseman when he first joined us. He was a work in progress. Doug Mansolino worked him out. hit him endless ground balls. He finally started getting it behind lower and lower and lower, and then he became a terrific third baseman.
And he pushed him back off the plate. Not a bad thing to do, especially if you're setting up a straight change away.
And that's what he's going to do.
He tried to throw the changeup, but unfortunately it was about a 53-footer. Last night, leading off the second, Albert Pujols hit one out of the ballpark. It was one of two solo shots, and that was 552. And tonight, already he had 2-0. Albert hits 553. This is a titanic shot to left field. The 33rd of the year is 69 driven in, and a great bounce back year for Albert.
So the first walk issued by Johnny is at first. Talking with Albert before the game, and he just loves to smile.
Got a lot to smile about these days.
Yeah. Yes, he does. He is a gentleman. Boy, does he have respect with the other players. Woo.
The most 30 home run seasons, Hank Aaron with 15, Alex Rodriguez and Barry Bonds with 14, and then it's Albert, the Babe, and Mike Schmidt with 13 30-home run seasons. Pretty impressive career.
Yeah, he's the only one to do 13 in his first 15 years in the league. And he goes, just looks to second. Goes to first, that'll retire the side. So we'll go to the fourth, trailing 3-1.
Today by visiting WhiteSox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Abreu, Cabrera, and Garcia. Jose. Single. His first at bat. Breaking ball strike. Chopper, and that's foul.
This is exactly how he worked him the first at bat. He threw 2 sliders, got him 0-2, and then tried to buzz him with a fastball inside, and Jose had a line drive to center field. So he's thrown 2 sliders on the first 2 pitches. He's 0-2. We'll have to see what Carlos Perez wants here.
He wants a 53-footer.
He didn't have that in mind when he called for the slider. But let's take a look at opposite field hits in the American League, and Jose is number 1 ahead of Joe Mauer, a perennial opposite field guy than Xander Bogaerts. Nelson Cruz, whose opposite field hits go out of the ballpark, and Jason Kipnis having a great year.
That's up the middle and center field. Well, you could have busted me on that one. Over Mauer.
He tries to throw a fastball again, and once again back up the middle. So 2 for 2. No contact on sliders, 2 for 2 on fastballs.
I would have thought Mauer and Alcides Escobar would have been right at the top of that list. So here is Melky hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Fair ball.
Good solid play by Albert. Might have clipped his heel at first base, however, as Melky, trying to beat it out, got nipped at first. And he looks at Albert, said, "Nothing personal, Albert." Good solid throw as Albert, who does have a Gold Glove at first. And you see what Abreu did. He made sure that Abreu was not going to get close. And Albert, that's Albert's fault. You can't have your foot that far over the bag. So it's not Melky's fault. He came away, fortunately, without getting an ankle problem. And Albert did not get an Achilles problem.
Well, that's where the shortstop took control of that situation. That's where the shortstop makes the play or does not make the play.
That used to be standard procedure, by
Sure
the way.
It was.
When a guy,
it was routine.
When a guy didn't get down low enough,
make him get down. That's sawed off Booker bat there. Nice play by Cowart. And that'll retire the side. Go to the bottom of the 4th, still 3-1 Angels. double play for you. And watch this. Watch what he's going to do. Is he sees Abreu, and Abreu knows what he's going to do, so he just bails.
So Jose's got to do a couple different things. This is not the first time he's gone into second base like that. And you're probably going to catch one in the ear unless you get down or really peel off. He did neither. He just kind of ducked his head. And that's not what you have to do going into second.
C.J. Cron. No. And I had a long talk before the game, too, with former Oriole and Angel second baseman. He was a good one. Bobby Grich. Bobby was absolutely famous for that.
Yeah, he came up through the Oriole system. And if you didn't go into second base and get out of the way of his throws, he was going to hit you right between the eyes.
That's right. That's where he was aiming. That's what he was trying to do. And then, if you were a runner at second base and you got a big lead and you come sliding back in, he was going to try to hurt you with that knee. So he wasn't going to let you get to the back of the bag. That's high in the center field. Near the track. 1 out.
Cron, whose home run last night to right field was the deciding run of the game. Hit that ball hard. But fortunately, it did stay in the park.
Well, there's no park big enough to hold. He is very, very strong. Here's Ibar. Orioles have another second baseman, Davy Johnson. Who was a good second baseman. And he was the same way as Grich. In fact, I think Bobby probably learned a lot from Davy. He'd have you slide sometimes 20, 30 feet from second base if he got the ball quick enough. Because he's coming underneath, you better get down or out of the way, one or two. To the count. Cole Calhoun. 2-run homer if you're just tuning in the first inning. High towering blast over that center field fence. Nice low. Hop right there.
Bring your family to the ballpark for Family Sundays presented by University of Chicago Medicine Comer Children's Hospital. Tickets start as low as $5 and parking is just $10. White Sox and Comer Children's Hospital teaming up for kids' health. To purchase tickets today, visit whitesox.com/Sundays or call 866-SOX-GAME.
There's Giovatelli. He went out. Saladino as well.
And into the Angels dugout. Scattered a few of them. Pujols' home run in the first inning, the last hit that John has given up. So he discovered the location for the screen change, and things have worked out pretty well.
Two balls in the strike. 28-year-old second baseman. That's fair ball. So he will pick up his says 21st to batter.
This one gets by Tyler at third base as Chivatella waits back on the straight change and keeps it between the lines. You see Tyler is off the line. That line drive. Fair by a pretty good margin as Ed Hickox motions it.
That ball had some severe hookage on it. So here's Perez. Struck out. And we mentioned the Yankees came back to defeat Minnesota. A grand slam highlighted by that grand slam off the bat of Alex Rodriguez, his 25th grand slam.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. Two and one to count. The young receiver. Carlos is 24 years old. Now throws slightly to the right. Nice gap out there in left center. There's a watch out.
That one took a funny hop and Tyler had enough time, but the ball sailed on him as he got under the throw. And Jose could not come up with it.
So it's a 4-1 game.
Now he's got some time as this ball sails. Jose goes up as high as he can, but can't get to it, so it's E5. And it's a 4-1 game.
And here is Caleb Coward, struck out his first time. Adel, Georgia. Native. And that'll retire the side, but they pick up a gift, the unearned run, and they lead now by 3.
happens, and there's no doubt that a fielder doesn't go up to a pitcher and say, why'd you throw that one up in the zone? The guy could hit out. So when a fielder makes a mistake, not intentional, then the pitcher just letting him know that, look, maybe you'll win this for me later on, so stay with it.
Here's Shuck. He grounded out to Giovatello. We have 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. We have 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. The reason we scored our run, if you're just joining us, is because of an error. The reason we scored our run last night was because of an error. There's a strike. 2-1 to count.
Difference in the game is the 3 hits our Sox have are singles, 3 hits the Angels have, 2 home runs and a double, and there's another cracked bat. Because Richards is throwing a lot of fastballs inside. That's really been his main weapon tonight. Yes, he's thrown some good sliders, but when he throws a fastball at 96, almost without exception, he's keeping it in on the hands of these hitters.
Well, Mark Gubazov, analyst, along with Victor Martinez, they do the television for the Halos, and they do a tremendous job. Gubazov, former 20-game winner. Victor Rojas, I should say. And he told me, he said he's going to break some bats tonight.
Well, he can do that because he's got terrific movement. When he starts it inside, doesn't matter if it's left-handed or right-handed, keeps following him further inside. We can cut it and he can sail it.
Yeah, when you can run it like that, if you're a right-handed hitter, you better back off the plate a little bit.
Now, Honda pitch tracks will show you that that one still had some late movement, even though it was outer third. Oh, it darts at the end and he takes it off the sweet spot of the bat.
You just hit the nail on the head. The late movement. When you got that kind of late movement, you're going to break some bats. And you're going to strike out some left-handers as well. Giovatello with a nice pick.
Well, you're seeing tonight the reason why he was 13-4 last year in 26 starts. Unfortunately, he tore the left patella tendon and had surgery, and that surgery kept him out the first 2.5 weeks of this season. He had it last August, and because it is the plant foot, the right foot in this case, the one that takes most of the strain, or the right knee rather, it took him a while to come back from it.
Carlos fakes the bunt, takes a strike. That was on the play he was covering first base, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and it was in Boston, and
it was ugly.
It was. You could just see his knee kind of give way as he crumpled by the bag.
Rookie looks pretty good over there. Got to go to the bottom of the 5th inning. They lead it 4-1. It'll be the top of the order: Victorino, Calhoun, and Trout.
This becomes really a big inning in the grand scheme of things because it's the top of the order. You're going to face a couple of their very best, and already trail by 3 against an opposing pitcher who's thrown it real well in Garrett Richards.
Two 2-0 the count. Victorino was hit by a pitch and scored in the first. He popped up to Sanchez in the third. There's the strike. Another strike. One down.
Hey, Sox fans, all season long, you score with Papa John's Pizza. The day after the Sox score 5 or more runs, get 50% off your entire online order at papajohns.com with the promo code SOX5. That's at all participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Here's Cole Calhoun. 2-run homer and a strikeout.
Not exactly a dead pull hitter, but Alex Saladino is playing him way off the line. And Lexi is playing him pretty much up the middle.
As strong as he is, he doesn't have to go from center to the right field line to hit home runs. Check some scores for you. Red Sox beat Cleveland 9-1 at Fenway. Dave Dombrowski has been named the new president of baseball operations for the Red Sox. Ben Cherington, the GM, resigned. And they had just hired Jerry Dipoto, former GM of the Angels. As that is out number 2. So big changes in the front office. Yankees doubled up Minnesota 8-4. 25th grand slam of his career by Alex Rodriguez. Top of the 13th in Cincinnati. Kansas City leading the Reds 2-1.
Well, that New York-Toronto race in the AL East is heating up. Both teams won their ball games tonight. Toronto 8-6 in 8-5 in Philadelphia. It's 1 run separating those two teams.
There's a strike. Trout robbed of extra bases on a beautiful play by Saladino, and he walked. Trout's going to get him again. They got him, and that'll retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning, so we're into the 6th, trailing 4-1.
first he wanted to talk with Paul Nauert. Then he had a talk with Dana DeMuth. Now here's the tag on the leg. He got him on the right knee. And one of the things I think that Socha was talking about was, did he ever lose possession of the ball? He quite obviously didn't, but he did get the tag on him as the throw pulled Jose off the bag. He actually made a very nice play. And seemingly because his pitcher is on the mound, that particular argument didn't take quite as long as the one at U.S. Cellular Field with David Robertson on the hill.
We're into the 6th inning. Flowers, Saladino, then back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton. Tyler popped up. A high pop-up, Albert Pujols. And then Toronto, 8-5 win over the Phillies. We might be talking about this year's MVP, Josh Donaldson. 3 for 4, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 33 homers now.
Well, it's really amazing what he's done for that team as a 2-hitter. I mean, all that damage is done as a 2-hitter.
Well, he's got 91 RBIs from the 2-hole. That's amazing. And we're just here on August 18th.
Well, it was a testament to Jose Reyes, who was getting on, and now it's a testament to Troy Tulowitzki, who they acquired. He was always a middle-of-the-order hitter. Now he's hitting leadoff.
Did you read that article in USA Today
about how the fans are just taking to that baseball team, which is great. I mean, that's terrific for baseball.
And the guys are getting amped up by it. The fans are really bringing those guys into, as David Price said, the chemistry at that level. When you're trying to do something there, see, strikes him out. 1 down is paramount. Chemistry is more important today than it's ever been.
Nobody did more consequential moves at the deadline than Toronto. On the other side of the coin, New York, who's trying to hold them off, didn't do much of anything at the deadline. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how that race plays itself out.
Tyler takes that fastball up high. The fastball at 97.
As you can see, 12 ground outs, only 1 fly out.
Yeah, they shot back to the middle. So good speed aboard.
A low amount of pitches, just 58, with 1 out here in the 6th inning.
Well, coming to the ballpark, we knew we had our work cut out for us.
And we didn't see Garrett Richards in Chicago. We did see him once last year. It didn't work out all that well. Just 2 hits in 8 innings.
There's a breaking ball strike. Adam, he was struck out and grounded out to Pujols. There he goes. Couldn't find the ears on it, so he'll pick up his 5th stolen base.
With the lead he had, even with the quick release and the good arm of Carlos Perez, it's doubtful if he'd have thrown him out. Richards is not particularly quick to the plate.
And Tyler's best on our team at checking the outfielders. He might just go ahead and give it a shot. Now, the last time he stole a base, next pitch, tried to steal 3rd. Didn't make it.
One of the things we haven't taken advantage of is Garrett Richards is not a particularly good fielding pitcher. And there are some teams who have tried to take advantage of that. But the Sox to this point have not laid down a butt and not put the pressure on him to execute.
Rolling curveball. Tyler in the third now, 2 down.
First baseman, number 79,
Yeah, that Donaldson's. That still amazes both Steve and myself. I mean, it really does. It's almost unbelievable. But here is Abreu. Jose is 2 for 2. Both singles into center. Takes a high pitch for a strike. Breaking ball.
In the last 26, Jose is hitting a robust .340 with 8 home runs, 6 doubles, 22 driven in, and 20 scored. And this at bat, just like the first 2, he's gone 0-2 on sliders. Only to give up a base hit on a fastball.
Close pitch. Goes Abreu's way.
Get a little lucky that time, as Carlos Perez did not receive that ball real well. Actually caught it and took it down out of the zone to make it appear lower than it was. You see on the Honda pitch tracks exactly where that pitch was, and it had part of the corner at the knee.
Well, they got a new category for that.
Framing pitches.
A new numerical category. And our guy, Tyler Flowers, in the top 5, in fact, he ranks 3rd in framing pitches, which is a big thing and it's a legitimate category. Tops that one foul.
So far, a steady stream of sliders. There's a young man with a souvenir and a very large cap.
Happy smile. Two.
That was a good block by Perez as he saved the run.
I think Carlos knows he's got to be on his toes with Richards. I mentioned earlier, 13 wild pitches.
There's that slider. Bouncing just the first base side of the plate.
Payoff pitch. That ball hit hard into left center field, and they're not going to get that one. So Tyler's going to score on a double by Abreu. And it's a 4-2 ball game. Don't stop now, boys.
RBI number 70. And even if you believe you can get a guy out on a slider, when you throw him 7 of them, eventually he's going to get to the 7th. And even though this ball was down, Jose had to be looking for something off speed. He got it. And we told you how shallow Victorino plays. He got burned that time.
Here's Melky. Melky 0 for 2. 2 double plays. Right at the bottom of the zone, says Paul Nauert. Pick him up, Melky. One to count. 4.63 and a 3.63. And that was tough foul. Braves 70 RBIs. Breaking ball.
With runners in scoring position, Melky has been awfully good, especially since June 26th.
Fans wanted that ball well outside.
That one came very close to Alexei as it whistled over the top of the dugout. But Karen back to field of play did not get in the seats. Can't afford to lose that man. Jose Quintana throwing it pretty well these days.
Once again, the 2-2 pitch. That one at 97 fouls that one away. They have resumed play back home. Tigers leading the Cubs 5-2, top of the fourth inning. So we pick up one on the double by Abreu, scoring Saladino. Give us a 4-2 Angel lead. Against Jared Weaver and the Halos. Our coverage begins at 8:30 with White Sox pregame live presented by Orland Park Toyota right here on CSN Chicago. A couple of big right-handers tomorrow night. Right here, Angel half of the 6th inning. They lead it 4-2. It'll be Pujols, Crone, and Ibar. Albert 1 for 2, a long home run back in the 1st inning. His 33rd. He now has 69 RBIs. One pitch.
Albert used to hit a lot of home runs to right center and right field. These days, he's pulling most of them.
Fights that one off.
Started to go after a cutter. That one just moving down and in. He was able to just barely stay alive. As you can see, 29 home runs to left field, just 3 to center, and 1 to right.
Watch out.
Pretty much the same pattern that Hank Aaron took when he came up. Right center field hitter. He hit line drives out of the park in right center as he got older. Really learned what the pitchers were trying to do to him. Became primarily a pull hitting home run hitter, although he never had the power of Albert.
How many guys have? Sanchez now seeing what's going on. Says, I'll take it. 1 out. There's so many circumstances that go into baseball. I was a visiting club bat boy for Savannah in the Sally League when Hank Aaron was at Jacksonville, and you could tell there was something special right then with those wrists of his and those hands and how quick the bat was. But then you also have to remember that, and it's taking nothing away from Bad Henry. Henry always had 2 great parks to play in, County Stadium in Atlanta, and he had always great protection behind him. And those things do count and do add up, as opposed to guys who played like Clemente in Pittsburgh, Lower Forbes Field, one of the biggest parks in the game. And there's that ground ball left side. Ted Williams, who played home run wise the toughest home run for left-handed hitters to play in Fenway.
Johnny with 88 pitches, not all that bad as he moves within 1 out of completing 6 innings.
Ibar, Johnny, quick, guns. Nice pit by Abreu. Wow, what a nice play by Jose. And that'll retire the side. We're into the 7th. We need 2 to tie. Mercy.
Now for our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it's a terrific play on the part of Johnny Danks, and then Jose Abreu scoops it out of the dirt. That ball could have easily gone into right field. It didn't. He had a good play on both ends. That was the long hop. That's one of the tougher plays for a first baseman.
But Johnny made the right thing. There's where if you make a mistake, you got to make it low, rather than overthrowing him into right field. You got to at least give the first baseman a chance to make a play for you, and he did. Abreu, beautiful pick right there. Here's Avi. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored.
That fastball was right down the middle. I made a good swing at it, but fouled it off.
That one at 95.
Not going to catch up to it up there, especially on the inside part of the plate.
That's a fair ball. Long peg. Now he's going to pull him off the bag. So that's a base hit for Avi.
That's probably an example of not really knowing how fast a guy can run because it's his first major league game. He takes a little too much time. And even though the throw is high, Avi would have beaten the play anyway. So he's got it, but just that little extra second he took cost him the base hit.
All right, boys, let's get something going here. Here's JB. Decent lead. And the count 2-0. The Wolves will play in front of the runner.
Although nobody up in the bullpen because only 84 pitches, it seems like fastball doesn't have quite as much life in Garrett Richards this inning as it's had.
So they get Avi, 1 out.
Shortstop,
Take a look at 6 1/3. The 1 earned run. Now, interesting dynamic on the last play. The dynamic being that Albert came off the bag and then double clutched to second because I think he realized that with Richards going to first base, that's the exact play he got hurt on in Boston. And it seemed to me like he knew the speed of Shuck, took the sure out, made sure there was no return throw to Richards, who might not have gotten all that close to the bag.
And he waited just a little bit for Ivar to get there.
You got to get one. Now earlier they had a 3-6-3 double play. And this time It's a 3-6 force.
0-1 to count to Alexei. He is grounded to short. That knocked in Avi. That was a good at bat for Alexei. Playing back. And he's grounded to second. Ball and 2 strikes. Just tuning in, they scored 3 runs in the first. 2 home runs. 2-run shot. Cole Calhoun over the center field fence, and a long home run by Pujols. That made it 3-0. So that's our 3rd double play we have hit into. 7th inning stretch, we trail it 4-2. Bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be the lower third of their order. Giovatello, Perez, and Cowart. Giovatello is 1 for 2, a double and a run scored. Fakes the bunt and he takes the strike.
Not necessarily a bad idea bringing in Saladino at third base. He hit the ball by him in the 4th inning, hit the ball to him in the 2nd inning.
We have 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. They have 4 runs on 3 hits.
John has really bounced back well after giving up a couple of home runs in that 1st inning. He's given up just 1 hit since, and that was the double by Giovatello in the 4th.
Softly hit. Quick release. 1 out.
On this double play, there's a lot of shortstops that would use the sidearm flip. But watch Ibar. He really forces a good solid underhand with something on it, knowing that Alexei can get down the line quickly and turns two. Well, if you're going to go underhand, you better shovel it over there and get a good solid throw instead of one of those looping underhand tosses that we've seen at times.
Here's Perez, a strikeout. And he reached on an error. Well, nobody has to tell Eric Ibar how to play shortstop.
No, he's got a pretty good idea how each and every guy runs.
0-2 the count. That's down into the corner. So the one-out double. That's his 8th two-bagger.
Every Angel hit of the night has been for extra bases. Couple of homers, couple of doubles, and Perez, who hit the ball pretty well last night, this time he gets a cutter inside and takes it into left field.
Caleb Cowart, Major League debut. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout. Then he's grounded to third. Looks like he handles himself very nicely down at third base.
He decided for a while to give up switch hitting, and then, as you can see, he went back to switch hitting this year, hitting .323 in AAA. So this guy almost gave up baseball when they wanted to make him a pitcher, and came back, and now he's in the major leagues.
And did it his way.
Pretty amazing story. There he is in a major league uniform, getting a start with the Angels looking for a third baseman. If he can do anything offensively, he'll probably be there for a bit. Jake Petrichka listening in the pen as John is about ready to deliver pitch number 100.
3-0 count. See what Socha does with this youngster. Taking all the way. It's full. Watch out. Ball is scalded. Thank goodness we're seeing a lot of balls hit the fence.
They're not going in the seats.
No.
And that ball did not get in the seats for that young man, who was ready with his glove, but it caromed right back at Ed Hickox, the third base umpire.
He didn't try to catch that ball. It might have taken it 3 or 4 rows back.
He just wants an opportunity.
Off the end of the bat. 2 down.
Sox fans, the first 25,000 fans at a Chicago White Sox home game will receive a Merck's Cheese game card, good for 75 cents off their next Merck's purchase at participating grocery stores. Like your bases and your burgers loaded? Well, then you're a Merck's man. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Coop's out. You got Perez at third, 2 down, and Victorino, the hitter.
One thing we haven't seen from Victorino, which is somewhat surprising at this stage of his career, because he still can run, we haven't seen him bunt. And that's something that Saladino's going to have to bear in mind. As you look at the numbers for Johnny, that one unearned run looming large at this point.
Victorino 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch and he scored. That was leading off the bottom of the first inning. If you missed last night's game, it was a beauty. Pitch by Carlos Rodon.
We saw Joe Smith last night. He was pretty good.
Rodon's first complete game.
It's a shame that he had to be on the losing side of that one, going 8, giving up just 2 runs on 2 solo homers with 4 hits. He was pretty impressive.
Fair, look at the throw. Can't get it. Great effort. And it's a 5-2 ball game. It'll be a base hit.
First run batted in as an angel. Shane Victorino. He breaks his bat, takes it down the line. Tyler makes a terrific play. Unfortunately, the throw off the mark.
So here's Cole Calhoun. Calhoun 1 for 3. That 2-run homer was a high blast right over the center field fence. He now has 18 of them. He's knocked in 65 runs. They pick up 1. And now we trail it by 3. Your strongest fan photo to hashtag Chicago. A Chicago Daily Strong fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast that's brought to you by all the great folks at T-Mobile. Ryan Jackson moves into second base for Giovanni. as we trail it 5-2. We haven't had a whole bunch of production, with the exception of Abreu, who's 3 for 3, 2 singles and an RBI double. We got the other run on an error. Garrett Richards has been just too good. 97-mile-an-hour fastball that moves a bunch, and a terrific slider. So here's Sanchez. Carlos is grounded to second, and he is grounded to third. One ball, one strike. And that'll get down for a base hit. That's a good way to start it.
Chicago White Sox Charities presents Sox Serve Week, a week-long initiative dedicated to giving back to the community we call home. Sox Serve Week will take place the week of August 24th. For more information, visit whitesox.com/SoxServe.
Beautiful night here. Sunny Southern California.
Not quite that chilly.
No. As here is Tyler, 0 for 2. Short lead by Carlos.
Both bullpens up and going. It's Matt Albers for our Sox, and Joe Smith continues to throw for the Angels. Smith pitched an inning in last night's game, gave up a hit, but unfortunately a double play ended the eighth.
Get through, knocked down, but it's going to be a base hit, so we get the first 2 men aboard. And here comes Sosha. He wants the pin.
Yeah, Richards sees this one go right between his legs, and it's kind of a rule of thumb of pitchers. It's tough to field if you have your back to the hitter, and that's exactly what Richards did. That ball went right through his legs. He will depart this one, and Joe Smith will come in. We'll step out and be back after these messages. To the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay previews, radio broadcasts, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. And our Honda call to the pen is Joe Smith, and he's got some problems. Runners are first and second, nobody out. And a side-wheeling right-hander on for the 52nd time. He's 4-3. His ERA a fine 2.77. Only 13 walks, 40 strikeouts, and 48 2/3. The first man he's going to look at is Tyler Saladino.
Tyler's 1 for 2 with a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. All right, let's keep it going. Got the corners in close. Outfield swung around to the right. That's softly hit. So 1 out. Ryan Jackson could have done a little more trying to get a double play on that one. The only way he could do it, though, is make the runner stop or tagging.
Yeah, he was going to have to run right at him and freeze him, but
we
took
get a
the
break.
sure out.
So here is Adam. We've already hit 3 double plays tonight. $37,114 attendance. Adams faced Smith 3 times, has 1 hit. Victorino really short out there in left field. Real short.
He's been playing pretty shallow all night. This is particularly shallow and over toward the line.
He's quick, but he's not that quick. Smith with that very unorthodox move to first. Backdoors him. One and 2 the count. In a 2-1 game last night, we had our chances. We stranded 8 guys. Did not come up with anything. Stranded 2 men on twice. Bases loaded once. So the run scores. And it's a 5-3 ball game.
RBI number 31 for Adam.
Now, one swing of the bat. Here's Jose. He's 3 for 3, 2 singles and an RBI double. Pujols asking,
where do you want me? And nobody's telling him where they want him.
No.
We'd like you right there, Albert.
First pitch gets break right there, does Joe Smith.
There's Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, talking with Garrett Richards.
Breaking ball well outside.
He's going to get somebody with that.
If they do, as you mentioned last night, if they do, something's wrong with that picture. They're not looking. That's inside. One in, 1 on, 2 out, 2-1 to count. Ate him up, made a good pitch. Howard runs it out. But we pick up 1. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Now trailing by 2.
For Johnny Danks, and Matt Albers comes in. Albers on for the 15th time. He's 2-0 with a 2.21 ERA. He's throwing the ball pretty well, and Johnny threw 7 innings. Gave up 5 runs, 4 earned on only 5 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts.
So here's Trout, Mike. 0 for 2 tonight. Twice he has gone out. To Saladino at third 1 time. Tyler robbing him of extra bases. And a shot right down the line. He got it. Threw him out. One to count.
one. A 56-footer.
And it evens the count at 2. High right field. Chuck.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And here's our Miller moments, and they came early in this one. After Victorino got hit, Cole Calhoun hit a 2-run homer as the second hitter of the game. And then, after an out, Albert Pujols homered. His 553rd. It was a 3-0 game early in this one. Our Miller moments.
There's a high chopper. Lexi comes in and gets the hop. Albert now 0 for 7 lifetime against Matt Albert. For our guys, Cabrera, Garcia, Shuck, Alexi. There's a strike. 1-1 to count to Chrome. Get fouled. Get fouled. It will. As we told you, he is strong. Very strong.
Fortunately, he got out just ahead of that one. Hit it way back, and it hooked in front of the pole.
Just a hard strike. That's all it is. And tomorrow night it'll be Jeff Samardzija against Jared Weaver. We'll have that game for you right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. There is a little flipper into right field. Good inning right there for Matt Albers, and we're into the ninth. We got some work to do.
28th save came last night in 32 opportunities. And his ERA 2.72. This is the third night in a row that he's thrown. He blew a save Sunday night. Took 24 pitches to do it. Last night used 12 pitches. And he got out of the 9th inning with a strikeout of Saladino, a strikeout of Sanchez, and a fly out to end it. And that was that.
So Melky will start us off. He is 2 for 7 lifetime off Houston Street. Tonight, Melky 0 for 3. Bad pitch outside. Bobby on deck. And that one at 89. So 1-2 the count. Two and two. Just didn't get a piece of it. Outfield there, straight up. Spread out, spaced about equidistant.
Street is on the extreme first base side of the pitching rubber, and most likely he feels because his fastball moves away from the left-hand hitter, he gets an even better angle when he sinks it away from him.
Another one at 89. He's got some deception in there someplace to do the job that he's done.
Yeah, 300 plus saves worth.
And a full count.
I'll be in the on deck circle. He's got a couple of hits tonight.
Chases ball 4. Right here, Malcolm. All 4 base hit. Chases ball 4 again. Way outside the zone. High in the right field. Calhoun. Here's Avi, 2 for 3. A run scored. And his first appearance against Houston Street. To the count. They have 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. We have 3 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. Veteran Houston Street. And the 1-2. That's going foul. Final from Cincinnati. Kansas City beats the Reds 3-1 in 13 innings.
It's pretty tough to get to that bullpen. Those Kansas City guys can throw it pretty well.
So it's up to JB Shuck. JB 0 for 3. He's grounded to second, struck out, and then grounded into a 3-6 fielder's choice. Just joining us, Johnny Danks gave up a 2-run homer, then a solo shot in the first inning. Then he settled down. Gave up an unearned run, but overall did a good job up there.
Especially bouncing back from a tough first. He didn't have the straight change at that point. So he gave up just the 3 hits after that. 2 of them doubles, however, and both of the doubles scored.
Paul Nauert has had a good game behind the plate tonight. But right here, we're down to our last bullet. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Save and the 2-2. That one at 90. And that reception we mentioned. You just can't throw 89, 90 up there unless you got some deception.
No, he's never been overpowering, but he's got such a good straight change and a good little slider that Makes the fastball look a whole lot better. Plus, he has tremendous command of it.
Well, he's doing something. He has a career he's had. 90 mile an hour fastball. That was a change. He got up, got away with that. Ball game is over. So we lose 2-1 last night. We lose 5-3 tonight, and tomorrow, Jeff Samardzija, Jared Weaver.
Well, Jeff has got to pitch a good one tomorrow night, and the team has got to be able to score a few runs, and hopefully that will come about as the Sox have dropped the first two, and the Angels, who were really struggling on the road, have come back to Anaheim, where they played good solid baseball and taken the first two of this homestand.
Yeah, we hit into 3 double plays, which really helped them out. And our player of the game, it is the 27-year-old right-hander Garrett Richards, with 7 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, 8 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Our player of the game. So far, Steve Stone, for our Hall of Fame director and producer Jim Angio, and Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our very fine technical manager Mark Harper, and also for JR, Don Reynolds, George Albee, Doug Fresh, Lee Gamble, and the executive producer Jim Corno Jr. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Sportsnet Central, presented by CLR. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.